Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
Alright, it's Pride Month, babes. What are we gonna do when we see protesters at festivals and parades and events? That's right, we are not engaging. We are staying in groups, we are looking out for and keeping each other safe. We are not giving violence a way in. You personally might feel unthreatened. Danger might feel less immediate because you're an ally, or you're cisgender, or you're white. Maybe you're there with a big group. But you are not an island, my friend. Being intentionally confrontational gasses them up. That makes all of us less safe. Use that energy to stay sharp and be ready to protect each other. And happy Pride. Mwah.
Hi, we're coming up to Pride Month, and if you're entering Pride Month as an ally, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. What women's voices am I going to amplify? What differently abled voices am I going to amplify? What people of colour voices am I going to amplify? What threats to the queer community am I going to educate my friends and family about? What causes and fundraisers am I going to amplify? This is not about you coming to Pride events, waving a flag and saying love is love. This is about you really getting involved, showing that you care about us, putting in the work, and being actively anti-hate, because there's so much hate out there at the moment, and we need you.
So I'm going to be giving another speech in about a week at the flag raising ceremony in my town, and I'd like to share that with you all again today. I'll read it, and I need to practice a lot more. So here it goes. Hi everyone, I am Alex. I am a queer, non-binary trans woman. I have called town home for the past 15 years and lived almost my entire life in this area, graduating from high school in 2006. I've struggled with my gender for as long as I can remember, but I was too afraid to confront what was in front of me for so long. I came to terms that I was trans almost 2 years ago and started transitioning 9 months ago at 35 years old. So it's never too late to be your true self. The pride flag can mean so much to someone. The colors represent life, healing, sunlight, prosperity, serenity, and spirit. Before I even realized who I truly am, I would often get excited every time I saw a pride flag flying on someone's house or in front of a building. When Pride Month came around, I was always excited to see all the companies showing support and pride colors everywhere. We all know that that's a little bit different nowadays. The pride flag always felt welcoming to me. I knew I wouldn't be judged. Seeing the flag in a business can mean everything. When I had my first appointment to get hormones, I was terrified. But when I opened the door to the doctor's office and I saw 2 pride flags sitting on the counter, I instantly felt relief and safe. I was still nervous, but I knew I was safe and welcomed. To end, to our queer and trans youth out there, I know times are difficult. I know it's a difficult time right now and might seem dark, but we are in this fight together. We will be the light that shines in darkness. I will always be by your side fighting. I see you, I hear you, I believe you, you are valid. We will not be silenced, we will not be erased. Hopefully, there's just a few little things I need to work out, but hopefully people will like that. Have a great day.
Well, it's Pride Month, so of course the right-wing maniacs are losing their minds. And
all right, listen up. If you plan on going to a public Pride event at any point this year, you need to be careful about it, and there are a couple steps you should be taking to protect yourself and others who are going with you. We already saw over the last couple of years that people were threatening Pride events across the country, and I have a suspicion it's only going to be worse this year. So a couple of things that you probably should be doing if you're going to a public Pride event or Pride parade. Number 1, dress however you want, but make sure that you are dressing in a way that allows you to move fast if you need to. We're talking shoes that are comfortable for running, non-restrictive clothing, things like that. The second thing you need to do is you need to designate a primary and secondary emergency meeting point away from the event grounds if something does in fact go wrong at the event. Your meeting point should typically be away from where most of the activity is going to be, and generally in an opposite direction of where you think a higher population is. You also want to make sure that your meeting points don't have line of sight on wherever the event is taking place, because if you have line of sight and someone shows up with exactly you know what, you want to make sure they don't have line of sight on you after you've run. 3. Designate a sober in your group. It doesn't matter if none of you drove yourselves there. You need someone who is sober in your group to be keeping an eye on things around you, more than ever this year. Number 4, I know it's always tempting to get up in the faces of hecklers and street preachers who are like, oh, you're all going to hell. This is not the year for it. Those people could easily have a group with them who are packing heat and are looking for an excuse to use it on someone. Be smart and be safe.
Hey everyone, happy Pride Month. Today is June 1st, which marks the start of Pride Month here in Toronto and across many other places in the world. As many of you know, I'm deeply involved in the 2S LGBTQ+ community as Regional Manager 2S LGBTQ+ Business Development for TD Bank Group in Toronto. Pride Month is super exciting. It's full of a ton of events and parties and a lot of fun that I'll be sure to share with you all. I did want to take a moment to remind you that Pride started as a protest and is still very much a protest and not just a big celebration of fun parties. There are many countries around the world to this day that being gay or part of the 2S LGBTQ+ community is punishable by death. There are new laws rolling out right now across the USA, specifically Florida and many other states, that are anti-trans and even anti-drag. Lately, it feels like we're going backwards with 2S LGBTQ+ rights across the world, and I am very grateful to be in Canada, where our government supports who we are and our community. I encourage you to look into it, research, see what's happening outside of Canada, because the story is not the same. If you're attending Pride, I want you to have a great, safe experience, but I also want you to remember where Pride came from, where Pride is, and where we need to go. And if you have any questions about Pride or the 2S LGBTQ+ community or what I'm doing in my work, feel free to shoot me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you.
Y'all, I can't hold this in. One of my secret joys right now is knowing that there are people out there boycotting Bud Light because of a small advertising campaign with Dylan Mulvaney. Won't get into it, we all know about it. But do they know that June is right around the corner? Like, it's the gayest month of the year. Companies usually, at minimum, change their logo into a rainbow. Where are these people gonna shop? What are they gonna do? It's for an entire month. Good luck.
This whole rhetoric going around about why do gay people have a whole month and veterans have one day? First of all, there is a whole month in November. There's Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Both of those are considered national holidays, to which LGBTQ month is not. Third of all, if you cared so much about our veterans, why are they so much more susceptible to homelessness and PTSD and alcoholism and drug abuse? And I really want to harp on the idea of why are they so much more susceptible to homelessness? If you love our veterans so much, right? And it's not just because you're using them as a scapegoat for your homophobia. Why are they so much more susceptible to these things? Oh, it's because you don't. You care about rationalizing your homophobia and hatred for others by virtue signaling using veterans. Veterans who, I want to remind you, are fighting for everyone in this country, including gay people. And I should probably also remind you that there are a lot of gay people in the service. And beyond the fact that there are literally gay people in the service, there are gay people fighting for your rights. Yes, you looking at me right now. Every single day, every single civil rights movement. Gay people have always been on the front lines of your favorite civil rights movements, including your homophobic grandma's right to vote and her right to work. Anyways, done ranting now. Maybe I'll go eat a fucking carpet. Bye.
Alright, it's 4 minutes till June 1st, my time. I'm going to take down the little bit of stuff that I have in my window, put up the big stuff, and let's hope nobody decides to be an ass about it. Let's just hope that maybe I'll get some cool compliments for it, because I know I can't be the only one in this neighborhood. Here we go. My very first Yes, my room is dirty. Well, messy. The scarf that I just bought. And now for this. See if I can make it. Okay, it's tucked up there. There's no point in going outside to show you right now because it is dark out. But okay, I know I have certain kind of people just up the hill. They haven't said anything to me yet. They know about me, and we still can wave and say hello to each other. Let's hope they let it go. Let's really hope they let it go, because if something is said, I'm probably just going to go even more. I'm going to put the other two back up, like in a different window or something, also facing the road. It's been 2 years since I came to terms with myself, or started to. I'm not hiding. I'm not. Nobody should. Nobody should have to. Here we go. My first time being open about it to everyone here.
I did not expect this video to end up being my first video. This morning, Target has announced that they are pulling all of their Pride Month merchandise off of the shelves in response to the cisgender straight people who are coming in throwing bitch fits about them indoctrinating kids into the LGBTQ community. This line of merchandise included clothing and bathing suits for children who are LGBTQ, including tuck-friendly bathing suits, the whole 9 yards. Let me just remind you that allowing kids to express who they are organically does not indoctrinate them into anything. And 2, tuck-friendly bathing suits, transgender-friendly bathing suits for children are a great tool for gender dysmorphia. An amazing tool. Something that could keep a kid from actually going through a surgery at a young age. I am a Target associate, and today I called into work. I am with the Pride community. If you're pulling the Pride merchandise, I'm sorry, you're pulling me from your attendance roster. Please do me a favor and call your local Target. Thank them for having their display up, if it's still up, and beg them to keep all of the merchandise there. Once you do this, please go to corporate and email them and tell them bowing down to extreme rightists who want to go in and wreck their store for having a display is ridiculous, completely ridiculous. At the end of the day, I've never heard that giving your kid a candy bar because they're crying over it is a good way to parent. The transgender and LGBTQ community, the LGBTQ community exists. It exists. It's not going anywhere. And you pulling this display out of Target isn't going to make them go away. Please put the word out. Share the heck out of this video if you have to. Look up Boycott Target on TikTok. There's several videos of these people doing this. Leave them a nice little comment. Let's change this back.
Look closely. It says light binding effect for light binding. I'm glad they moved it to the back of the store because no kid should be seeing this.
I'm going to break this down as simply as I can because some people still seem to not be getting it, but children are completely unaffected by those swimming suits and those tags because, and this is very important, children can't read. And for the children that can read, they're not going to know the multisyllabic words that are on that tag. No child knows what tucking is, nor would they care. You can just say that's not for you. Or maybe it will be for them. That doesn't matter. They'll figure it out someday. But that's not a conversation that you need to be having in Target. Like, if a young boy picked up a box of tampons and was like, "Mommy, Daddy, what is this?" You could just say, "Oh, honey, that's not for you." And leave it at that. That's all you have to do. And I'm sure families do this already, but nobody's asking to hide the tampons because little boys don't use them. Like, whoa. This was never about protecting children. Conservatives just hate trans people. That's it.